So finally I am at Humayun town. I have been thinking of visiting this place for many years, but finally I get a time to see this particular monument. So you can see this is the main attraction. Inside there is a tomb of Humayun. It is surrounded by a garden, Mughal garden. As much I know, the gardens are designed as per the description of paradise. So it gives a feel of that the people who are resting in the tomb are having paradise, the sense of paradise. It's near to the Nizamuddin Dargah. It's believed that they chose this particular location because it was near to the saints' graves. So you can see the magnificent architecture made by Akbar primarily. The below area has some residential quarters. I'm not sure what they are. I can suppose during that era maybe some administrative people used to stay. There were some offices. All of these are closed. I don't know, but there seems to be small official kind of complex. So I can assume there may be some administrative work going on along with having a monument and a resting place. Let's go inside. I need to take a steep stairs, so be ready for this stair when you are visiting this particular place. So choose your footwears accordingly. And this is where it leads to the whole complex. You can hear the sound of nearby railway stations. So this is the whole area. One can walk and see the views. Good place for photography. But usually crowd wise, in my understanding, far less number of people visiting this place if I compare to Purana Killa or Qutub Minar. Qutub Minar and Red Fort seems to be the most visited place when it comes to visiting monuments in Delhi. So here you can get a sense of the architecture. The bluish thing which you see on the top, you won't find it on Qutub Minar or Old Fort. That seems to be the unique touch of Persian architecture, as much I understand. There are a lot of graves inside and outside this complex. Seems to be the graves of some famous known people of that time. As much I understand, 100+ graves are there in this area. Resting place. So these are outside. They are important but not that much important. Inside it looks like there is a whole family who can live and their graves are nearby. So I will take you in, which makes me feel that as if it's a resting place for a whole family. Most of these graves are unmarked. When we came towards that side, there was a noble grave of Sher Shah's then, Aga Khan or something. Yeah. So there was a grave. It seems to be built 20 years before this place was built. So this was a royal graveyard even before the Humayun remains got transferred here. As you know, it got transferred. He was originally not buried here. He was buried in Old Fort. Later on in between shifted to Sarhand when Hemu was attacking the Delhi. Let's go inside. So you can see the whole architectural and work. Something around 15 60, 65s, 300 plus years old, nearby 400 I guess. Yeah, my maths are getting weak. So here we have a grave of Humayun, and it looks like that they have neighboring graves. The size of the Gummad gives you a sense of the architecture at that point in time. So it is far bigger than Bada Gummad of other places. So old fort. Now here the other family members might be buried. So it's like there is a main entrance and you have a door, and it comes to, there is a good ventilation, and there are smaller gummads and there are family members, seems to be. So there are multiple rooms like this around the center room, and they are resting place for other important, seems to be the close ones of that type of Mughal era. Not sure if they got buried many years after Humayun got buried here. In the nearby area, it is also believed that Bahadur Shah Jafar also took refuge to hide from British in 1857 and finally got captured by British. So it also, this area also has a story attached with the last Mughal emperor Bahadur Shah Jafar. He along with his princess got captured in this area only, somewhere towards the Dargah side I guess. They were taking refuge. This place also has a good relationship with Nizamuddin Dargah, because Mughals always respected the Sufis, and that's the thing. The Sufis, they came along with Khiljis, but yeah, the subsequent Mughal emperor, Lodi emperor, considered them holy, respected their point of view. Now here you can see the outer layer. I am back again and giving you a view for the other side of this area. Yeah. So this is all a good place to visit. Not many things to see. There are small other tombs as well in surrounding area. Some of them are known, some of them are unknown tombs. There is a mosque with the Shesha nobles place, but overall this is the centerpiece which was built, or you can say where the remains of Humayun got transferred to give them final rest. Okay, this is all. I could watch a good amount of eagles here, and these eagles like sitting on top of these gummads, drinking water and looking for their own prey. Never seen eagles this closely enjoying in any monument. So this place seems to be a good place for eagle watchers. I'm not carrying my binocular today. I don't know if it is coming in the camera or not, but yeah, there are eagles sitting here and there. Okay, yeah, this is all about Humayun Tomb. So Isa Khan tomb, this seems to be a 20-year older than the Humayun tomb which we just visited. This place was habitant by villagers. In between you can see the tomb, and in the right side there is a mosque. And so he was a noble in Sheshah's era. After he made this tomb in his lifetime only, he wanted to make sure that he has a good resting place once he died. And looks like this location became useful for the future emperors to have burial sites. and that might have motivated Akbar to choose a site for Humayun's grave. And it also shows the enemies can rest together after their death. So Isa Khan and Humayun lying in Pakistan.